There's over 140 distilleries in Scotland, but today I'm going to bring you my current 5 favorites. No particular order, just the ones that I've been enjoying lately or have in my life. I've got 4 regions covered today. Islay, Highland, Campbeltown, Speyside. Sorry, Ireland. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, probably not a surprise, but I'm going to bring you Bruichladdich, one of my favorite distilleries. I love Islay. I think Bruichladdich is like top tier when it comes to making whiskey. They make a great product, and all of their expressions, some of them are young, some of them are old, are just so top quality. My current favorites are Aberlour and Port Charlotte. Port Charlotte is heavily peated. Aberlour is super heavily peated. I've had a bunch of Aberlours. I've had the 12.1, the 12.3, the 13.1, the 13.3, and the 10-year 5th edition. They're just amazing. If you haven't had Bruichladdich, go out and find some. Seriously, you can try the Classic Laddie. It's a light blue bottle. It's unpeated, but it still gives you that great quality and a nice intro into Bruichladdich. You can look for their Port Charlotte. It's about $70. Or if you look online, you can find their Experiment Cask Collection. It's the current one out right now is their SC01. It's 2012. It's a 9-year. It's in Sauternes, which is really good, honestly. But it's pretty hard for me to not pick Bruichladdich as one of my favorite distilleries because I love Islay. They're definitely my favorite Islay distillery, and I think they're just solid all around. They're one of the best in Scotland. That's my opinion, but that's number 1. Okay, next up, number 2, staying in Islay with Laphroaig. I love my Islay, but I only have 2 Isleys in this list, Bruichladdich and Laphroaig. Now, the 25 is the only one I currently have in my collection, but I like Laphroaig because, again, I love Islay, but they're more of a cheaper option in the Islay. Bruichladdich, I think, is more of a premium product with more of a premium price tag on some of their expressions, whereas Laphroaig, look at the 10, the quarter cask, the select, a lot of good entry-level prices to get into some pretty good whiskey. I personally think their no-age statement ones, quarter cask, select, lore, are better than the no-age statement ones that Ardbeg gives, like the Core of Reckon and the Ugadale. And I think they have a little more layers to them, and they change the maturation barrels, some of them, especially with you go to the Carchis. I love the Carchis releases. The current one out right now is white wine and Madeira, I'm pretty sure. But my favorite Carchis is the port and wine one. It was 2020 release. So good. That's what I love about Laphroaig. They constantly have a new changing of some of their releases, and you can always try something new and see how they experiment with their barrels. Ardbeg doesn't do that a lot. If they do, the price tag is crazy, and Bruichladdich does it with their Aberlours and their Port Charlotte. But we know the Aberlour prices are pretty high. Port Charlotte is a little better, but Laphroaig is a nice, cheaper option to this. My favorite, 425, obviously this is a great, fantastic whiskey. It is $6.50, but this is probably one of my favorite Isleys I've ever had. It is so good. If you want to go out and find one, Laphroaig 10, $65. If you want to get something that's super good, but a little more expensive, get the Laphroaig 10 Sherry. It just combines the greatness of Laphroaig 10 with that sherryness in there. But again, Laphroaig, great distillery. You know their name. That's number 2. All right, number 3, going to Highland with Edradour. I'm getting more and more in Edradour. I have 3 other whiskeys on my playlist for whiskey reviews, and I have the 13 Chardonnay finish, and I have the Ballanchin 12 in Sherry. Both are cask strength. One of the things I really love about Edradour is they make an excellent whiskey, but usually most of the ones that I've had are cask strength. And I love higher proof scotches. You get all the full flavor from all their things that they put in there with the Chardonnay and the Sherry. And then with Ballanchin, they have a peated option. So I get a non-peated and a peated depending on what my mood is. Edradour is an extremely small distillery. They call themselves a little gem of Scotland, and they are a gem. If you haven't had Edradour, please go out and just find any of them. Any Edradour you find will be insanely good. It will be so good and worth your time and money if you do enjoy a nice Scotch whiskey. It will cost you a bunch. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. This one was probably around $120. This one was $190. Now, they're 12-year and 13 years, but they are very, very good. I will not lie to you. My reviews of them you can find on my playlist. Edradour is a very good distillery. I'm not going to stop saying that. They are so good, and I think they are underrated for sure, and they're very small. They're so small, in fact, you can't actually get a tour from the distillery if you go there. But number 3, Edradour. All right, number 4, I have no bottles because I can never find them. Because number 4 is Springbank from Campbeltown. Springbank is the best, in my opinion, distillery in Campbeltown. You have 3 options. You have Springbank, you have Glengyle, or you have Glen Scotia. Glen Scotia is pretty good. I have a bottle over here, but with Springbank, it's just top class. They make Springbank, Hazelburn, and Longrow. My favorite Campbeltowns are Hazelburn 13 Oloroso and Hazelburn 15 Oloroso. The 15 was just miles ahead of the 13. But my problem with Springbank is you can never find them. So I can't have a bottle in front of me for you guys or a review right now. If you do go out and find them, the prices are just astronomical and just kind of silly. It's almost like the American bourbon market, but that's another video for another time. But if you've had Springbank before, whether it's Longrow, Springbank, or Hazelburn, you know how good it is. It's so hard to find, but there's a reason for that. The demand is super high, but the supply is low. I have had the 12, Hazelburn 10, Hazelburn 13, Hazelburn 15. I've had a Longrow. Longrow is a peated Campbeltown. Really nice expression, really good flavor profile, and it's different because the Campbeltown gives you a lot of that, like, for me, salted cookie brine, and the peat side with the Longrow just adds that extra smoke layer to that. And I think it's kind of like blending Islay and like a salty Highland together into a really nice thing that they have there. So I would love to be able to have a Springbank out here for you, but if you go out to a store and you find a Springbank, be wary of the price, but I will say it's going to be tough to find one in the States. But if you do find one, you're probably pretty lucky. You might spend a lot more, but I will say what's in those bottles, it is super good. It is top class whiskey. It's, it's on the same level as Bruichladdich as far as the distillate goes. I think it's super good. I wish I could find one, going soon, but that's number 4, Springbank. Number 5, last but not least, might surprise some people because I don't think I've had a whiskey on my reviews or I've talked about it that much on my channel, but Aberlour. Aberlour is a Speyside distillery. They are very good. There's a soft spot for them in my heart because in 2016, I married my wife, and that's when I also met the Scotch father who recommended Aberlour Abunid for my wedding whiskey. And I gotta say, fantastic. About $100, 110 maybe. It's a 60+% sherry Speyside. So good. Seriously. Aberlour makes good things. Aberlour 12, they have their cask series right now. I'm not gonna try and pronounce the current one. I'll put it on the screen for you, but those are all super good. They don't get talked about a lot, but I think they make good products, and a few of them are higher ABVs, which you know that I love. You get the full flavor on there, but at least for me, if you want to go with Speyside, you can look at Macallan, but you're going to pay the stupid prices that they have. You can go for Balvenie, you can go for Benriach, but I like Aberlour, and I think it's because that's basically where I started my whiskey journey, was with Aberlour for my wedding. So, soft spot there. If you go out and find a bottle, the 12's good, the 16's good. They might cost a little more. I think they have a bit of a premium price tag. Not as premium as Macallan, but still like between the cheap and the high. I think it goes in like right here. But I think the product inside is good enough to have that price tag on it. Well, there's my current top 5 distilleries in Scotland. That's my opinion. They're not fact, but I'd love to know what your guys' top 5 distilleries are in Scotland. So comment down below. Let me know. Like this video, give it a like. Not subscribed yet, consider doing so. See you guys next time.